Alright, hello, welcome back. Today we will be doing Mission 3, and I'm going to be doing something a little bit different with this series. As far as the commentary goes, I think what I'm going to do from now on is read off of Reddit. Um, I just figured, it needs a little mixing up, and this way it can kind of combine two different genres of video, just so that um, it can be more inclusive, so if some people aren't very interested in the gameplay, they can still come for the Reddit readings or vice versa. So I just think it's a nice kind of cool idea. So with that being said, let's jump into the first um, post on Reddit. I'm going to be reading off of r/AmItheAsshole and kind of giving my 2 cents on the stories here, and of course my opinion on if these people are assholes or not. So this one is posted by throw_pushover_query, and the title is "Am I the asshole for intentionally blindsiding my pregnant roommate to avoiding confrontation?" Alright, this ought to be good. I have been living with my roommate Holly for almost 1.5 years. Holly wasn't a good roommate. I was doing most of the chores. I didn't like her much, but she seemed to think that I was a really good friend of hers. Any time I tried to talk to her, she would either deflect or give excuses. She told me once that it was my fault because I do it better than her, and she is now not used to doing chores. 6 months ago, she told me she got pregnant. Oh boy. I was covering half of her rent too because she didn't have any money. I wanted to ask her to move out, but again, she would say something, or give excuses or start crying, and I would back off. A few months later, situation got worse for her. Quit her job, couldn't find another. We were speaking one day, and she told me how lucky she felt having a friend like me. She thanked me for being so nice about the rent and the food, and she also told me she is not feeling scared about being a single mom, as I would be there to help her. Oh my god. I freaked out hard. Helping out a person when they are in a spot is one thing, but it was clear that she was expecting me to help her even after her baby was born. I did not want that. Preach it. Another month passed by. I was making plans to leave. Me and my friend found an apartment to share. On September 3rd, when she wasn't home, I moved all my things to my new apartment. Since most of the things outside of her room were mine, the apartment was pretty bare when I left. I called my landlord and informed him I won't be renewing my lease, which was ending at the end of September. He promised to return my security deposit in full at the end of the month. After that, I left a message to Holly that I have moved out and she has to talk to the landlord about her situation for next month. To be clear, I paid my share of the rent for this month to the landlord and told him to ask Holly about the rest and about making a new lease/new security deposit. I refused to attend any more calls from her. Bottom line is, I left a 8 or 9 months pregnant woman who was depending on me for many things like rent, food, etc., on her own during a pandemic while she was jobless. She had left me multiple voicemails and telling me how I should have talked to her and at least given a heads up instead of just moving out. She told me that she is struggling a lot and she is about to give birth soon, and that I need to help her. She is saying that it's shitty of me to help her so much and then abandon her. She told me that she wants to meet me and explain things. She thinks that talking to her would make me move back. I refuse to respond. All my friends have conflicted opinions. Some think I could have just talked to her and resolved it. Some think that I should have at least given her a heads up. Some think I should move back in. Many think it's not my fault at all. Again, she has 1 month to figure things out with the landlord before the lease ends. I didn't talk to her because it never worked in the past and I didn't want to be guilt-tripped out of moving. Here for unbiased opinions. Am I the asshole? Well, first impressions is that you seem pretty cowardly. Like, you definitely should have at least told her ahead of time that, you were gonna move out, or at least, like, you know, I can't be your sole provider anymore. It seems like this all could have been pretty easily avoided with a simple conversation. Well, so, I don't think your actions, like, I think you did the right thing as far as, like, the end goal, the end result, but you definitely, I think you should have told her the situation. And, like I said before, like, if you just told her this even before you were going to move out, like, it would have been fine, I'm sure. Worst came to worst, like, you just left anyways if she didn't accept what you had to say. But yeah, definitely could have been handled a lot better. I mean, all it really took was a conversation with her. Like, even she herself said that you could have at least given her a heads up. So I don't think that's unreasonable to want from someone that you depend on so much. Now, it did seem like she was in the wrong for manipulating you, which it seemed like she was doing, and definitely taking advantage of someone that's just a roommate. So, I would say she's in the wrong for that, but otherwise, you definitely should have told her beforehand, and I think things would have worked out just fine. So that's my 2 cents on that one. Let's do another one real quick. Am I the asshole for paying for my stepson's college but refusing to pay for my stepdaughter's? I, 46 male, have a wife, Janice, 44 female, and two stepchildren, Jonas, 25 male, and Lucy, 25 female. Their biological dad died in a car crash before they were born, and Janice has raised them as a single mother. I met Janice about 5 years ago, and we have been married for almost 2 years now. I love her very much, and we have an amazing relationship. When me and Janice started dating, we took things really slow. She said she had bad luck with men in the past and wanted to be sure. I, of course, respected that. After a year of dating, she introduced me to her children. Jonas was really excited to meet me, but Lucy wasn't. She was mean to me and overall distant. She made some inappropriate comments like, "Why do you even bother when you will eventually leave my mom?" or "My mom is better off without you." I tried to bond with her, but I never forced her to do anything. She is an adult, and when she said she doesn't want to talk to me, I respected that. On the other hand, me and Jonas really bonded. We got to know each other, we talk really often, and we play tennis together when we meet. About 2 years ago, me and Janice got married, and she moved into my place. Her kids live in a bigger city, which is about 2 hours drive away, and they both go to college there. Both of them were visiting Janice every other weekend, but when she moved into my place, Lucy stopped visiting. There is no issue with my place. It's a nice big house with a garden and swimming pool and tennis court. Jonas still comes every other weekend, but Lucy comes like once in 4 months. Last month, both Jonas and Lucy finished college and got their degrees. They came to us, and we celebrated. Me and Jonas were talking, and I offered to pay off his student debt. I never had my own children, and I have some savings, so it's not that big of a deal for me. When I spoke to Lucy, she asked if I could pay for her college as well, but I said I won't. Spicy. She got upset, and Janice got mad at me as well. She said that I can't pay for one child and not for the other, and that it's either both or none. I get that, but Lucy was never interested in having any kind of relationship with me, and now she wants to get money out of me. Jonas was more than nice to me, and I want to help him out. Am I the asshole here? And then there's an edit. I didn't offer to pay for his debt in front of both of them. I talked with him about it in private, but he was excited and told Lucy. Wow, okay, so that's pretty tough situation, I would say. Definitely, first thoughts are it's your money and you can do whatever the hell you want with it. And what would I do? I don't know. I feel like I would have the same initial reaction, but I don't know if I would actually tell either of them because, it's the same sense of, you don't want to neglect the other while being nice to the other one. It seems unfair to them. But, I mean, Lucy, like, she was mean to you. She didn't give you any sort of, um, she didn't try to connect with you at all. She seemed like, I kind of get where she's coming from because my mom has been through a lot of boyfriends as well in the past, but it doesn't really excuse being mean to them like that and just dismissing them. But she's obviously kind of hurt before in some way or another to act like that to you. But I'd say you're not the asshole. I'd say that's a fair response if you want to just do something nice for someone that you care about, and that's not Lucy. So, I mean, I think that's a good lesson to teach her that you know it pays to be nice. So, if nothing else, I think that that's at least a good lesson for her to learn, and she can still get something out of it in that sense. So, yeah. Anyways, that will be my time for today. I will see you all in the next mission. Goodbye.